Hello.
Some of you may have noticed a sign outside of Ms. Flugel's office. It says that seniors only have 26 days left of school. The excitement I have for college is overwhelming, but I can't help but think of what all I'm leaving behind. I've spent a lot of time at EA. It's my home away from home. I haven't been here as long as the lifers, having moved here for 3rd grade, but it's been long enough that some of the big events and projects I've been through in the past 10 years are just blurry memories. I can't recount too many special things that happened in the lower school at EA. I think I might actually have more memories from my time back in Columbia than 3rd and 4th grade, except for an overnight trip to a castle with some of you. Oh, and in case you're wondering where Columbia is, it's typically right above the O in Missouri on classroom posters of the US. I remember when it was time to read in 2nd grade before I came here, we would split up into groups and get to read books that we wanted to, rather than books a teacher assigned. Pretty sure my love of reading came from powering through the first 3 books of a series of unfortunate events with my closest friends there. Then there's middle school. The memories start to clear up here, and I think it's probably because of all the new emotions I was feeling growing up, but I think I'm going to attribute it to how crazy it was. I'm really proud of becoming Buddy Holly and Meriwether Lewis in Biographer's Tea, even though I may not have enjoyed the research part. Project-based learning, nicknamed Pain, Boredom, and Labor by another senior, was never my favorite, but it was a break from normal classes, so that's something. For yet another memory, I think I can just say the name Bill Harris and leave it at that. I certainly can't end the middle school part of this speech without mentioning Extended Day in the Adventure Program. Extended Day was where students would go when their parents needed to stay at work a bit longer until they could pick their kids up. I'm sure you can see where this is going. About a third of my time at EA up until the end of 8th grade was spent there. The Adventure Program is one of EA's summer programs where we would just hang out in a classroom and do some fun activities, regularly taking a break to go to the Gale board-in or the pool at the center. It was super fun until the only other senior was considered old enough to stay home by themselves, and I was the oldest kid there by 2 years. Until that started up a week or 2 after school ended, my sister and I would be brought along to just sit in this room, sometimes going outside to interact with another administrator's kids. There was one particularly enjoyable day though, where I spent the entire time playing video games with my Wii hooked up to that projector. We're headed back to the future now as it's time to talk about high school. The memories here paint a more vibrant picture than ever before. Having 6 floors across 2 different buildings is pretty nice compared to 2 claustrophobic staircases that you have to march up and down before rounding the corner into even more claustrophobic hallways. Sophomore year was even better because we had the freedom to branch off into taking more varied classes in our gen eds rather than just an elective. I won't say much about junior year because if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. The only remark I'll make on that is that the overall lowered mood of the year came about because of some certain circumstances, not anything EA was doing wrong. Senior year, it feels fantastic to finally be back on top. And it's just not the novelty of growing up that's been exciting about these past 4 years. There's some pretty cool events that I've been able to be a part of. Pi Day, for example. I was able to smush a pie into my dad's face in my freshman and junior year, memorizing something as high as 240 digits to have the privilege to do so. I'm still somewhat salty about how we were told we were going home for 2 weeks to flatten the curve the day before we were supposed to have the Pi Day competition my sophomore year, or how this year was taken out entirely. Extracurricular activities have been fantastic. It's sad to see how our boys soccer team has been losing numbers over the years, but it's brought about the strongest sense of camaraderie I've felt as being part of a team. And I have to mention theater. Many of you watched me knock it out of the park as the lead actor playing Wayne in Puffs this year, or whatever the Wizarding World alternative of that phrase is. And to think I had the role of moving fake plants on and off stage in 5th grade. As I move on to the thank yous, I just want to say this. Yeah, it does take a village. To the teachers, every one of you working with students in the high school has taught, coached, or supervised me at some point, and there are many more in the lower divisions. Thank you for making yourselves available and teaching me how to take responsibility of my life. To my advisors, Ms. Hughes, Ms. Feltry, Madame Cannon, Mr. Harris, Ms. Moe, and Ms. Broadcourt, thank you for teaching me that learning plan conferences aren't scary. To the maintenance crew, you guys don't get enough shout outs, so thank you for keeping EA clean. To everyone else that works to make EA better that doesn't fit into any of the above categories, you're doing great. To the senior class, I lied earlier when I said being part of the soccer team was the best team I've been on. To my friends, thank you for being funny, entertaining, and there for me. And I hope that you've seen me as being there for you too. To my extended family watching from home, to Mom and Dad, who have been there since day one, and to my sister Kate, who has been there since day 857. Thank you for all the love and support you've given me over 18 years and counting. And for those last 3 especially, I'm gonna miss you a lot. If I'm not crying by now, just know that I already worked on getting it out of my system when I was writing this. Whether I am or not, you're laughing with me as I read this and get flustered in front of the entire high school. I suppose if you want the speech to have some sort of lesson to take away, I'll give you this. Men, sometimes there comes a point when you have to show emotions, and that's fine. All I have to say to close this speech out is that I always thought finishing my senior year at EA would be like an action movie. I make one last final stand, come out victorious, and ride off into the sunset, never to be seen again. Rather, it feels like, or more like the end of one of those romance movies that falls just short of a happily ever after, where the couple's forced to separate due to different personal lives. I slowly walk away, look back over my shoulder, and just smile. I've made too many memories here to feel otherwise. Thank you.